good afternoon. May we request our dear guests
sa kalye, bilagin! Best friend natin ang mask, suotin kahit saan. Ingatan ang kamay, maghugas pag galing sa labas. Sa school, bilagin! Sa pila, wag dikit-dikit. Dumistansya para iwas sakit. Laging open ang window para maganda ang airflow. 3B's, tandaan, bakuna, bayanihan, bilagin! Halina't magtulungan. Ikaw at ako ang bilagin. Sa COVID di ba dadaig? Sa ligtas na magbabalik. Sama-sama maging bilagin.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought unprecedented changes to our usual ways of living. But the Department
Good
of
afternoon,
Education
everyone. To all our
remains
guests who are
unfazed
still
by
in
these
the hall,
challenges
may we
to
request
fulfill
you to
the
please
mission of
gather in
Sulong
front.
reforms in the four key areas: the K-12 curriculum review and update, improving the learning environment, teachers upskilling and reskilling, and engagement of stakeholders for support and collaboration to move forward together as we prepare the education system for the future. The call for Sulong Edukalidad will continue, and we have built the framework of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, or the BELCP, to put the needs of the learners at top priority. DepEd's BELCP is the major response and commitment to protect the health, safety, and well-being of learners, teachers, and personnel. The plan aims to provide opportunities to continue education even in these trying times, with a BEL supported by unprecedented number of diverse stakeholders from the academe, media, industry groups, NGOs, business and private individuals. Sulong Edukalidad will be able to sustain the aims in its reform for quality basic education. In our journey towards quality education, we have established the four pillars of aggressive reforms from the start, and we have been continuing to progress in these pillars. In improving the learning environment, we took action in the construction and rehabilitation of school buildings, ensured the availability of learning materials and equipment, and prioritized our last mile schools. The challenges of the pandemic also brought to light the urgent need to upgrade our ICT infrastructure to service the needs of education. In terms of the teachers upskilling and reskilling, we were able to establish more innovative professional standards for teachers and school heads. We have aligned the professional development of teachers with their career progression to track their development as part of the National Educators Academy of the Philippines Transformation, with the launch of the Education Futures program, where we will be focusing on innovative actions and solutions to improve the state of our education. We are now more than ready to start a new journey and continue our fight for quality education for all Filipino learners. Finally, we've given high importance to the engagement of stakeholders for support and collaboration. In support of this, we have convened the Philippine Forum for Accessible Quality Basic Education, or the Education Forum, which will leverage other partnerships for education quality and strengthen partnership with the Philippine Normal University as the country's national center for teacher education. The department has also been developing a professional development program for teachers and school leaders in order to equip them with the skills, materials, and data that will allow them to help their students prepare for PISA 2022. This intervention consists of the following components: online training for teachers and school leaders, development of learning materials and practice tests for students, deepening the analysis of the PISA 2018 results, and and supporting school-level action research. Now that the year is about to end, our commitment to Sulong Edukalidad will continue and will be far from being gone. With a lot at stake, considering our new knowledge and experience from this year's challenges, we are equipped to face a new future. As we head on to the future where we will face many challenges and uncertainties, the department will always be the guardian of every Filipino learner's right to education.
Kristanos! Ay mo ako! Kristanos!
Maaabot lahat ng iyong inaasam. Kasipagan ng sabot, salat ka man sa Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Join us in witnessing the Rite of Blessing, known as Hog-Up Ritual, that will be first explained by Ms. Jacqueline Lunag, SGOD Chief of the Division of Ifugao, Cordillera Administrative Region, and to be performed by the Hagia Cultural Group.
The Hogop. The Hogop is an indigenous ritual performed for the blessing and protection of a newly constructed or acquired house or building before its official occupancy. In this rite, Maknongan Hikabunyan, the Supreme God is being offered and invoked through the intercession of our ancestors and deities for the granting of our petitions and prayers. That all unseen evil spirits that may have entered and inhabited the place be driven out. That all the entrance doors and windows be consecrated to be always open as passage of all materials and spiritual blessings, to be closed to all forms of evil, envy, and calamities like fire, typhoon, earthquake, and illness. That this building will be a good working place where unity, cooperation, and harmony abounds. That everyone who enters into this building may find and experience love, peace, joy, and contentment. This ritual has three components. First, the gonob. This is the invocation rite. The mumbaki or priest will invoke the ancestors and the deities to rise from their abodes in the different worlds and move to the place where the ritual is being performed. There, they shall witness and accept the sacrifices being offered to them and confer the benefits being requested. Konong, sacrificial rites. The animal sacrifices are butchered and offered to the ancestors and deities. The number of chickens butchered depend to the kind of ritual performed. Usually, one chicken is offered to the aamod or the ancestors. One to Maknongan Hikabunyan, our supreme God, and one to the Mungotat, the messenger. Acceptance of an offering is known by the careful examination of the bile sac of the sacrificial animal. A fully exposed bile sac with distinctive greenish color manifests a good sign that is interpreted as acceptance of the offering by the deities or ancestors. On the other hand, a dull and partially covered bile sac signifies their disapproval. An accepted offering, however, may be followed with a series of animal sacrifices until a favorable sign is obtained. And the third is the waga. Waga means blessing. One of the priests or mumbaki will now bless the house or building. The waga or blessing gives an analogy of the conditions where they are now. It also rationalizes the performance of the ritual and at the same time provides the solution to their prayers with a strong belief that is magical power to remove and bestow to them the favor they are asking. Finally, the honga, where we are going to butcher the 3 pigs, which is a thanksgiving ceremony and for the celebration of the stewardship of the building. So at this time, the DepEd Regional Office, Nayap building, will now commence as the concluding activity of ceremony with its ritual dances. the last dance will be participated by everyone. Everyone should participate so that you will receive the blessing of Maknongan. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hagie Cultural Troupe.
Taya. Yan po nung kagibumot, hayo haong ginob na amod na ya, hantong bumabaki. Atang tao mo. Hayo mga linawan din amod, anong pungkat ano hati kagalutaan. Ay, naman tuwal ito, malibong-bong ayo impunan niyo. Tu mali ayo tu na taang bayon ni tuali tatayati mamaya hapit ya gidi ya manuk ya hapit tahan naman tuali taubo oban nandami tambi wang ami tumbuhul ya nito pangidim dimi kami hinuwi kinadangan tatayan hogop tumbale an balaong di pangit tana ami dayut hiayu kayut. Hayo habong ginob na imong kontat. Nayun yu tu matungulan kabunyan. Iwad lagod di urum, iwad dayan di urum, iwad dalom di urum. Hayo umahan tu mong kontat ni. Ano humalupin ni kabunyan, ani hinumbiyan ni kabunyan. Naman tuwali ta ihal, halupay yung manok miya, baboy mi. Naman tuwali ta hogpo mi tumbale. Naman tuwali ta mapmapahuti ay pangagupan. Ighop mi igibok mi talaya. Pahot katayan ni tuwali na. Hay kataguan mi. Pangidim jimi kami hinuwi kinadangan. Tatayang gombonda yung matungulan. At hiyayu kayuan.
Di aman tuwali umapapapanglopa manu tita dula mo mantaya to no humalupe na mong kontad hiwigan hianigan yahi agiwana bagilat ya hibuit nak bakatagan yahi katibungalon ta itit balyo taya ito no manongan anwah didaya tahan dani etwali ta higupon mi hogpon mi to no halaong an ibda dauluan tayan tun apo mi tuhdep ed anhi regional director Madam Stella Carino o yahano tahay popohodan amlong di mawadaten hidiya mapod tentaya na hayo hogop dia emi pamakbakiyan ihea.
Tiyaw mapapanglopa manu katun ita dulan daman situ maknong ami kabunyan tawag wagahan damit uani nipe tumatinan itopot pami anhay pipodan hay kiwangan tun baluan halaong yanadan apumi ya amin anunggop itu tahay popohodan ya hay uulayan hitiye matuluy te hitue ni pe pangitopot pami manu katu ot hi ayo kayuwon.
Dia mapapantuali panglopan manukatu tahan naman tuali ta humikon ta kumawitan tahan naman tuali ta itnada atum maknong amin inumban kabunyan ay tahutu huton day oban nanda miduani nakidagup aduani ya hogpom itong balen halaong o ya hanaman tuali ta ighop mi popohodan ighop mi talna yahana tuali tayo kataguan mita pangidim jimi kami hinuwi kinadangan tatayan hituwe pangi tanwa pangit na manu katuwot hiyayu kayuan. mapot ay hay oham datuali yung ada itu oh muka po ay pangat yung naman pumoto itu atau malinggo mata ni waktu itu dia itu at hindi tawag iba ta kuminum to dan pokon hinatid na ada muna na kilagi mana itu di butunan ton ayam iya
mapot tayo tion talagang nihumuit o yung matuloy tayo na hogpon to ya higupon to tun halaung to mapot tayo.
Tendang ada ini nan.
Anak kaya, noon tayan bogahan an kay hawili taya, ya nalikpan ni penidianan, nalikpan ayay aninito ya buhol, ya nalikpan di anam di puwak, ya kalyog, ya apoy, ang mapotun ito initbal, kabunian, imaknongan.
na kaya bata ka na, mapur ay tayo matiptibong kayo walun hawili. Di ayot ya, mapur di ito panggapan ituon balik. At ano na, iyo mo ito, lamu.
lamuhon daan tukod minto, tahanat ura duplugon ng pendi puwok, ya kalyog, ya udan, ya apoy, o ya mapod, an mabika, an ari aya matukat, ya minay na yun nan imbukad ayin bakimi, ang mapod ayun namin nan hunggop ituwe an halaong, ituwe te ibagbagamin ni pe itobot balmi, at hiyayo kayuon.
Wagahan dayo man tuwali hantung balemin halaong mi. Tahan naman tuwali ta di ayo badaw-dawan. Kaya di ayo mong gumu-gumun. Hantun tayo na anin ito lagu di adaya. Humalakmut ay tuwali yun hay kataguwa mi. Kaya hunggop ami. Kaya igibok mi. Amamlong. Pumpapahoran kahigayan di manok mi baboy mi. Pangitim dimiga mi itun hinuwing kinadangyan. Wagahan dayo bo. Hantun apumi. Anemun hitu ituwe. Anin dauluan apumi. An hi director Estela Carinio. Oya hi assistant director. Tahan naman tuwali. Tighop yu papahoran. Igop yu ulayan. Punoohan. Tahan naman tuwali. Takaya yun hapad ang balat. Kaya ayo napulngot ang lituko. Kaya ayo natalakid ang atag. Tatayan hituwe pun waga idayo. Wagahan dayo po. Hantun wadat wani. Tahanat walita hunggop tau ituwe bale. O igop tau papahodan pun ulayan pun unuran. Tatayan wagahan dayo tu natong hiubuan at hiyayo kayun. O ten nagibu-gibu. O ya, mahapul na mo nga, na munho nga to. Mapusi ito panggupan.
The gods accepted our sacrificial animal, so we will have the honga, the thanksgiving already.
At di, hayo habong ginob na mabaki na. Kon banda yubohan tumabaki min ikabunyan. Tahan naman tuwali tao, oban na dami luwanin algo. Huto ni oban yu, yaw winagahan dami. Tamawag maputi kataguwami. Mahigay manok maya baboy. Idap tapami taklemi. Tatayan hituwe pun donami. Dayut hiyayu kayun. ay tawat balon dahil ng tuwali padayo ang magnong kami di kabunan niya gumuhan ay tadulan niya tayo giyu doon yung gigigit tumali bang bang ayot oban ng dami duwani nung bumalo niyo ang manggap ito ang balen halaong naman tuwali tahunggap kami ighop mi tututore ighop mi tenan tayo ay ang hituwe tang kami dahil ang gidi-gidan tayo hiyayo kayo.
Kopahan dayo at tumakanayo tayo makanadalikdik at duay tagam na duay dalikdik na anak kaya tayan amlong tuduani te inabu-abulut maknongan nan tayan idaw dawat to an abuluto na tunhogap tahan at tamun amlong tuun na minaduhanin algo tabang bangado na din uyana pangulo na takay nunggak anong kita way algo duy ahagye.
Anak kaya nun lawing ayat tayo mapmapod apo direktor. Tetaya nun lawing ayatun hongatu mapod kitaguan tao. Mapod ayat.
Okay? Let us all dance so that we will be given the blessings of Maknongan. Alain nyo daytan, kakabsat. You dance wherever you are.
Ko pagwagahan dayon namin. Ananin peta amlong at tuayad uwanin algo at uwanin himbatangan. Ragrag sakon to, tetayan inabu abulot maknongan, dian namin an dawat tao, ot manayot tao, uray ageto inilaw nun dakdaki kitao, ot hiya ayah diye an abuluto na damdama, datuwe dawatan to, tuy ahagye.
Sandali, ma'am. Sandali. And now we are going to remove this, and it is a sign that we can already enter the building. Okay.
All right. That was the Rite of Blessing by our dear IP elders, the Hagia Cultural Group. A round of applause, please. At this juncture, I would like to call in our distinguished guests, Undersecretary and Chief of Staff Attorney Nepomuceno A. Malaluan, Mayor Benjamin Magalong, Execom members,
Undersecretary Diosdado San Antonio, Undersecretary Ann Sevilla, and Assistant Secretary Alma Torrio.
Director John Arnold Shena,
May we also invite to join us former NEAP directors, Ofelia Tui, Undersecretary Lorna Dino,
Regional Directors,
RD Francis Cesar Bringas, RD Evelyn Fetalvero, RD Estela Carino, RD Gilbert Sadsad, RD Carlito Rocafort, RD Ruth Fuentes, RD Arturo Bayocot, RD Benjamin Paragas, and RD Gemma Ledesma.
Representative of Senator Win Gatchalian,
Attorney Catherine Cadiente. We also invite to join us Deputy Bureau Directors, Director Joyce Andaya, Director Edel Carag, Director Margarita Ballesteros, and Director Jennifer Lopez.
ASEC Alma Torrio, Representative of Congressman Mark Go, and Regional Director Estela Carino. for the ribbon cutting of the modernized NEAP facility and the unveiling of the Nayap marker. A resounding round of applause. Congratulations, NEAP Baguio facility. Ribbon cutting is a great way to kick off the opening of the newly renovated NEAP facility, which is very timely. Now more than ever, we know that the NEAP facility will once again open its doors to our teachers and school leaders for different professional development programs.
Ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests, we shall now proceed to the unveiling of NEAP History Marker. On December 10, 1985, Letter of Instructions number 1487 mandated the design of an organization that will ensure the continuing training of public school teachers in the elementary and secondary levels to upgrade their competence in the subject matter being taught, the principles and methods of teaching, school administration, and the effective exercise of educational functions.
We would like to acknowledge the presence of Mayor Benjamin Magalong. Welcome, sir.
The components of this teacher training organization shall include a National Education Learning Center, or the NELC, to be established at Teachers Camp in Baguio City. In 1989, the NELC training facility was constructed on the former site of the Osmeña Library of the Baguio Vacation Normal School within Teachers Camp. NEAP continues to fulfill its mandate as a premier professional development institution in Japan, committed to the learning growth and empowerment of teachers and school leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, the newly refurbished NEAP training facility.
And our history marker is finally unveiled.
A warm round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the ribbon-cutting ceremony and the unveiling of the history marker. May I request our guests, Honorable Mayor Magalong, Honorable Congressman Mark Go, representatives of Honorable Gatchalian, Execom members, undersecretaries, and our directors to please gather together beside the history marker for one very important photo opportunity. Thank you.
sa ating check.
A pleasant afternoon to everyone. This afternoon's number of the SDO Baguio iPad team is titled Ipitik. Ipitik is an event of cultural revitalization that magically celebrates ritual and old ways even as it breaks the rules of tradition and nonchalantly shrugs off all worries about invention. Ipitik magnifies and creatively reinvents many small yet significant aspects of Cordilleran culture. It brings together all the cultural groups that have converged and live together. Ipitik is a solemn act of offering the first drops of a newly opened jar of tapoy to Kabunian, the highest deity of the Cordilleras, and to the ancestors. The act is traditionally done by the Mambunong, shaman, or pinading. The practice lives on today among many Cordillerans, young and old. Ipitik bridges a gap between generations of Cordillerans and epochs of Cordilleran history, and between the solemnity of a sacred offering and the light-heartedness of a good drink shared among lifetime friends. Ipitik as a festival will sustain the momentum of the creative spirit throughout the year. The number starts with the prayers by the Mambunong of the different cultural groups, followed by the showcasing of the different dances, and to be concluded by a song with a mixture accompaniment using the modern and indigenous instruments.
una. Oye, tangaton. Hindi ko ang sulangon. Alaw si kaya mo. Kaya mo. Yan ang uring pinagdirin. Oya ulo nyo. Ate, ewan si Pangre na. Iyaw ito kung bublean to teachers na. Kaya ito tatagyaman. Kamu ba, dito ko. Kaya mo na kunan niya makaguan sa wala kita sa kataku. Amin!
Kawisay na dagupan, agawan takuna amungan, ago ay enang sa sabatan, tato manggagayahan. Ipugaw ay sinabay, sa maili ay inundan, ulayin to man mabuwan, aminat maibagay. Ay sidong ilay, sinali dumaay, dungdung ay sidong ilay, sinali dumaay. Hay 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 ay diway, heya 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 hey, heya 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 hey, heya 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 hey, heya 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 hey. Daydayan ya o gayam, niliwat adat ya sa libi, siya ng tako, maila ay nawaswas silaw lawa. Kabunyan daya, sa pa'y kumataw mustong ka, bendisyonan sa bata, walang sa kapyan ay maila. Tungtong ay sidong ilay, sinali dumaay, dungdung ay sidong ilay, sinali dumaay. Hay 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 ay diway, heya 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 hey, heya 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 hey, heya 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 hey, Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. 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 Ay sidong ilay, isinalidong maay. Dong ay sidong ilay, isinalidong maay. Hay 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 ay diway. Dong ay sidong ilay, isinalidong maay. Dong ay sidong ilay, isinalidong maay.
Thank you very much to the pride of the Cordillera Administrative Region, the SDO Baguio Indigenous Peoples Core Group, for showcasing the culture that is CAR.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the program, may we request our guests to please occupy the vacant seats in the hall. You may also proceed to the theater located at the left side of the hall, where you can watch the event live through an LCD screen. Again, we would like to request our guests to please occupy the vacant seats in the hall. You may also proceed to the theater located at the left side of the hall, where you can watch the event live through an LCD screen. Thank you.
To officially begin this momentous event, may we request everyone to stand while the chorale sings the Philippine National Anthem.
Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong mukha.
You may now take your seats. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to NEAP Baguio facility in this precious event with the theme, Investing in Teachers' Growth for Education Quality. Dahil galing NEAP, galing NEAP. The inauguration of the modernized Baguio facility and Nayap Transformation launch. I know you will all agree with me in saying that indeed we were welcomed warmly in this facility where the temperature right now is 25 degrees Celsius. By the way, my name is Riza Pereira and I'm with Sir Alvin Fulgencio. Good afternoon, Sir Alvin.
Thank you, Ms. Riza, and good afternoon, everyone. I am absolutely delighted to be with you all here right now in this remarkable milestone. I am Alvin Fulgencio. Allow me to mention that we are being covered live by our very own coverage team, the Public Affairs Service. We are also being viewed live through the DepEd Philippines and the NEAP Facebook page. So hello and good afternoon as well to our live viewers on Facebook. Thank you for spending this afternoon with us. At this juncture, allow me to call the leader behind Baguio City, the man behind a peaceful, safe, and friendly Baguio, to formally welcome us all in the city called the summer capital of the Philippines. Join me in welcoming the Honorable Mayor Benjamin Magalong.
Can I request everyone to please remove your mask and breathe the cool and fresh air of the city of Baguio. Pag nainitan kayo, sabihin nyo na sa amin, pwede naman namin i-adjust. Okay? So, now that I'm the mayor of the city of Baguio, once again, I order you to put it back. Just to give emphasis that dito sa siyudad ng Baguio, we strictly comply with the minimum public health standard. I wish to welcome more special guests for today. Let me start with Yusek Nepomuceno Malalwan. Of course, our representative of Congressman Marco Charisgo. But before go with the usual traditional greetings of mentioning all the names of our undersecretaries and assistant secretaries, but let me just lump it in one term, Team DepEd. But let me also greet my partner, our Regional Director Stella, Assistant Regional Directors, nandito rin si our Director Sena of NEAP, our School Division Superintendents, our NEAP officials and staff, other DepEd officials, our friends from the media. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Good afternoon to everyone. Foremost, please accept my well wishes of good health and safety to everyone present here today. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to a new and reviving City of Pines. And whatever we do, all the way to do so as we inaugurate the new NEAP training facility in the city of Baguio. In 2019, the Department of Education, under the leadership of Secretary Briones, directed the transformation of the National Educators Academy of the Philippines, or we call it the NEAP, which is the professional development arm of DepEd, for teachers, school leaders, and other teaching-related personnel. The Nayap Transformation was the flagship program under the Teachers Upskilling and Reskilling pillar of the Sulong Educalidad, which is a broader initiative to address the challenge of quality in education nationwide. Without a doubt, the education sector took a toll when the pandemic hit. Many have lost their jobs. As a result of schools closing down, we had to adapt to a new style of learning, which is less effective than the usual face-to-face setup. I remember the words of Secretary Carchua in his 2021 September report, mentioning that every year that our classes, our schools are closed, it translates to about 5 trillion per year loss of productivity. As we are in the midst of recovering the state of education and upgrade the quality of education, the development of professionals within the department is extremely urgent and necessary. We must be committed to their professional growth for the benefit of each and every student. We must create an environment that is stable, inspiring, motivating, and as well as satisfying for everyone. The success of the educational sector is hinged on our collaborative efforts as we think of our kabataan, of our youth, what we call the next generation. Congratulations to the Department of Education for this extraordinary feat, and thank you for your contribution to our holistic growth as a nation. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much, Mayor Benjamin Magalong, for your warm and sincere message of support to DepEd and to NEAP. It makes us want to stay more, or maybe for good, here in Baguio City. All right? Our occasion is also graced by the daughter of Congressman Mark Go to give a short message on behalf of her father. So let us give a warm round of applause to Ms. Charisse Go.
Mayor, pwede po bang magtanggal? Thank you po. A great afternoon to all our guests, of course, from the DepEd Central Office, headed by our Secretary, Liling Briones, the undersecretaries who are present, the directors of the different bureaus, regional directors, superintendents, nice to see you again all po. And of course, to all the members and officers of the National Education Academy of the Philippines. Welcome to Baguio City. This whole week has been filled with a lot of invite from the Department of Education. And I continue to apologize for the absence of our congressman. As he is on his way home, he's on the plane right now, for a flight from Geneva, Switzerland, as he represented our country in the International Labor Conference. Nonetheless, he sent me to send his best regards to everyone here and to congratulate the Department of Education for yet another project, a great project that is very, very critical to the recovery of the education system. Last week, I was with the superintendents in their conference in PAS. And I'd just like to share a little bit of what the congressman and I prepared for them. We told them about Cannon Road. Last December 2021, maybe some of us here actually used that road as we went up to Baguio. Because last December, with also the efforts of our mayor here, the law for the reopening and rehabilitation and maintenance of Cannon Road was passed into law. Our good president signed it. And the goal of this law is to create an all-weather road. We know Cannon Road as a road to be very dangerous. Rocks and boulders would fall, and this would be the cause of its opening and closing, opening and closing. Very much similar to our experience in the schools. Because of the changing alert levels, we've been opening and closing our schools. The challenge was initially to open it, and I commend once again the whole department for crossing that bridge finally, that we got into the limited face-to-face. But then again, there are still a lot of looming issues and looming problems in terms of curriculum, pedagogy, teacher training, and even psycho-emotional preparation of our students for face-to-face learning. And so, we'd like to be inspired by this law that was passed. We'd also like to create all-weather schools. We'd like to create divisions that are all-weather, regions, and most especially a department that is all-weather. And definitely, NEAP plays a key role to be able to equip all of us, not just actually our teachers, but each and every educator, part of the department. Just like myself, I would like to think that private schools are part of the department. As very, very recently, Director Joyce is here representing us in the private education office. So together, we will work hard towards closing the gaps that are looming in this, after this COVID crisis. It's actually, the learning crisis is another battle that we have to address. And therefore, just like what the congressman in the past 6 years has been doing, is really to support all projects, all efforts wholeheartedly. And of course, the implications of that in the laws that are passed by him. So I am here to again express the ongoing support of our congressman for the endeavors, not only of this, the recently ended, going to be ended term of our president, but also in the next administration. And we are also very much excited that it is actually the vice president who will be holding the post of the department, who will be holding the fort of the department, and hopefully, with her leadership and with NEAP's help, we will all address the crisis of education. Again, good afternoon to everyone present, and I hope you have a pleasant day. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Ms. Cherise. Maraming salamat sa inyo for your meaningful message. Thank you for finding a lot of ways to improve lives and education, and for working with us, for working with DepEd. Please send our best regards to Congressman Mark Go as well. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us now direct our attention to the screen to see an audiovisual presentation that showcases the Nayap Transformation and the modernization of the Nayap Baguio facility.
At the beginning of her term in 2016, DepEd Secretary Leonor Magtolis Briones identified quality as the foremost challenge in basic education. To address the challenge of education quality, DepEd launched Sulong Edukalidad, consisting of a review of the K-12 curriculum, continuous improvements in the learning environment, upskilling and reskilling of teachers, and active engagement of stakeholders, for partnerships and collaboration. Arguably, the most critical component of Sulong Edukalidad is the upskilling and reskilling of teachers. In the end, the campaign for education quality will be waged by our teachers and our learners. To support the upskilling and reskilling of teachers, Secretary Briones directed the transformation of the National Educators Academy of the Philippines, or NEAP, the DepEd unit responsible for the in-service professional development of teachers and school leaders. DepEd will also reward teacher development by widening career progression opportunities through a pending executive order that will add Teacher 4 to Teacher 7 promotional positions with corresponding higher salary grades. The Nayap Transformation involves the ongoing organizational and program transformation of NEAP. In addition, Secretary Briones directed the modernization of NEAP training facilities, starting with NEAP Baguio Teachers Camp, to better support the professional development needs of public school teachers. The modernization of the NEAP building will provide infrastructure and equipment that are highly adaptive to the fast-changing education landscape. With upgraded infra-technology equipment, it will serve as a venue to exclusively support the in-service professional development programs for teachers and school leaders. All its function halls will feature modern ICT equipment capable of blended or hybrid training delivery. A broadcast studio will be available for taping, recording, and editing of online learning resources, as well as real-time video streaming. Located on the ground floor are the main conference hall and theater equipped with video projection, seats, and fiber internet for a seamless viewing experience. The executive office is also located in this area for easy access for DepEd and NEAP officials. At the second floor will be the conference halls A and B, library, cafeteria, and dining hall. Located on the third floor are interactive rooms A and B, which will serve as a venue for small group discussions. The recording studio will also be on this floor. This recording studio is equipped with microphones, video cameras, a video switcher, lights, and fiber internet. The modernization of the training facility will improve its capacity as well as capability in providing both face-to-face and online training that will ultimately redound to improving quality learning outcomes. This NEAP transformation represents DepEd's commitment to investing in the teacher's growth for education quality. Para galing NEAP, galing NEAP!
We would like to acknowledge the presence of our OIC Undersecretary Willie Cabral.
All right. I must say that this is not just a program, but rather a celebration of NAYAP's milestone. Thanks to the leaders who have become instrumental to NAYAP transformation. And at this point, render your attention to the AVP message of our inspiring leader who has been supportive of the educational reforms through NEAP, His Excellency President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Congratulations to the National Educators Academy of the Philippines on the inauguration of your modernized Baguio training facility. This project is a testament to your commitment to ensure the continued development of our teachers, school leaders, and allied personnel in the academic sector. I commend you for remaining steadfast in your strengthening of your capacity as a vital training and accrediting agency that greatly contributes to the development of our teaching and educational systems. I am confident that in the years to come, Filipino students will witness firsthand the fruits of your enduring and dedicated efforts. I wish you a meaningful event.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Our profound thanks to you and your inspiring leadership, Mr. President. Your confidence in NEAP fortifies our shared goals to grow, to empower, and to transform. At this point, we would also like to acknowledge the presence of the representatives of Senator Sherwin Win Gatchalian. Now, distinguished guests, friends, we move on to another meaningful chance of listening to the video message of Secretary Leonor Magtolis Briones.
Magandang araw sa atin lahat. Sa pangalan ng Department of Education, I would like to welcome the members of the Executive Committee of DepEd, Management Committee, former directors of NEAP, and our distinguished guests, our supporters and partners, our LGU officials here in Baguio. Most of all, I'd like to acknowledge the presence, of course, of Attorney Nepo Malaluan, Chief of Staff and Undersecretary. We are here to launch the modernized NEAP training facility here in Baguio City. Indeed, this is a momentous occasion, a day of triumph for DepEd, as well as for Baguio City, which is hosting the site of this facility. Winning the battle of education quality will take many years of work for all of us in the education sector. But ultimately, it is our teachers who will be at the front lines of this fight. As we work towards our goal of improving quality through sulong edukalidad, we recognize the urgent need to upskill and reskill our teachers so that they will be equipped to meet the changing standards, landscape, and context of basic education. Today's launch of the Modernized National Educators Academy of the Philippines, or NEAP, facility here in Baguio City is only one part of the bigger Nayap Transformation that was implemented by this administration. Our vision for this reform is both to expand and improve the quality of the professional development programs available to our teachers and to reward their professional development with commensurable progression in their careers. To achieve this, we have invested heavily in the organizational transformation of the NEAP by increasing its personnel from 30 in 2019 to 85 at present to better provide technical assistance to our regions and divisions. We have also launched several policies that will streamline the professional development programs that are available for our teachers, including policies on accreditation of learning service providers and their training programs. These policies ensure that every training program contributes to our teachers' achievement of the appropriate competencies, as articulated in the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers and School Heads. NEAP has also developed and implemented critical training programs such as the Teacher Induction Program or TIP and the Learning Delivery Modality courses to provide specialized support to our teachers. By upgrading the facilities of the NEAP Baguio Teachers Camp, DepEd will now be able to provide modernized infrastructure and equipment that is able to support blended or hybrid training delivery. As you will see today, this training facility is equipped with a broadcast studio, conference halls, a library, and interactive rooms with the latest ICT equipment and infra technology. In the incoming years, we hope that the department's teacher training programs will be made more enriched and productive by the investments that we have made in the training facility. Nayap Transformation represents DepEd's commitment to investing in teachers for education quality. By providing them with more opportunities for professional development, we are enriching their toolkit of strategies and competencies so that they can better engage and equip the Filipino learners with the knowledge and values that they need to succeed in life. We thank our partners and stakeholders who have supported this reform in the past few years. May this inauguration be an encouragement for all of us to persevere in our pursuit of providing quality basic education for the Filipino youth. Special thanks again to Yusek Malaluan, to our local government officials led by Mayor Magalong, to all of us who have supported the tradition, the practice of holding intensified training and capacity building programs in the city of Baguio. Indeed, this is a day which is cause for celebration and will surely be part of the major reforms, initiatives that were started during the administration of President Duterte. Thank you very much.
Our deepest respect and gratitude to you, Secretary Briones. Truly, you have firmly held the torch high, illuminating the path towards a progressive education, a progressive nation. And just as a canon wrote, nothing can stand against our commitment and passion. And so, onward, NEAP, onward, DepEd.
All right. So at this moment, allow yourselves to be serenaded by the lovely voices of the CAR Regional Science High School, Olalim Coral. Here they are.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let us give a resounding round of applause to the CAR Regional Science High School Olalim Coral.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to wrap up our afternoon program, but I know you will all agree with me in saying that NEAP will not be fully NEAP without his guidance. Do you know who am I talking about? Distinguished guests, let us warmly welcome the Undersecretary and Chief of Staff Attorney Nepomuceno A. Malaluan for his closing remarks.
Magandang hapon po. May whiskey ka ba? Because this is a day for celebration. But anyways, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. During the recent launch of the Basic Education Development Plan, I mentioned there that one of the biggest contribution to education reforms by the administration of Secretary Briones was having shown a light on the challenge of quality in basic education. Alam nating lahat ngayon, all of us are one in identifying the challenge of quality as our foremost challenge in basic education today. And I suppose that goes even for tertiary education. But we did not only shine a light on the challenge of quality, we acted on it, and Sulong Edukalidad is just one during the administration from curriculum review, which is almost towards its end point. The continuous improvement of the learning environment that faced another challenge during the pandemic, particularly the shift in learning delivery as we tried to continue delivering basic education even during this period. So the upskilling and reskilling of our teachers, and also the engagement of partners which we have all experienced, including the formation of a very strong, broad, multi-stakeholder organization we call the EDUC Forum, or the Philippine Forum for Inclusive Quality Basic Education. But among the four pillars of Sulong Edukalidad, I believe the most crucial is the matter on the professional development of our teachers. And the flagship program of the Department of Education, as articulated by the Secretary earlier, has been the Nayap Transformation. And this is a comprehensive transformation of the National Educators Academy of the Philippines. This is a 1985 era organizational and infrastructural initiative meant to be the leading in-service professional development office in the department. And it has gone through a long journey. And we are joined today by the former executive directors of NEAP that will be honored also this afternoon. But with that long journey, it's a continuing process. As we mentioned, there are three components of NEAP transformation. The first is the really expanding and capacitating its human resource within NEAP. And number two is the streamlining and integration of the professional development programs through a recognition system for training programs that has to pass through the quality standards set by NEAP. And the third is the upgrading of all our facilities. And this is the start of that, the rehabilitation and modernization of this building. And we also started with the funding of an additional building for NEAP CAR on NEAP. And we just had a groundbreaking, and that is the symbiotic relationship between NEAP Baguio and NEAP CAR for their invaluable assistance, not just with RD Estela, but also with RD May before RD Estela. As you can see, this is a soft opening. This is not yet completed. We're just finishing the phase 2, which is the physical. There were 3 phases. The first was the recovery of the shell, the changing of the roof, the fixing of all of the electrical and other lines, and the waterproofing. And then the second phase is this, the finishing of the interior and exterior of the building. The phase 3 will be the furnishing of this building with the furnitures, office furnitures, and modern ICT equipment. As mentioned, there's going to be a what we call this, a studio. We have revived this theater that when we came here was already a bodega here. But the biggest revival of NEAP, this NEAP facility, is after this inauguration, this will cease to be a rental asset of the Department of Education and NEAP, but this will be used exclusively for the professional development needs of our teachers and school leaders moving forward. And so this can be, you could say, also a passing of the baton on the part of the Secretary. My staff has a countdown, and it is now 21 days to go before June 30. And Secretary Briones will be passing the baton to a very able new secretary, honed by, like Mayor Magalong, the experience of managing local government and having partnerships with all agencies, and where the battleground really happens in the person of the incoming Vice President and concurrent Education Secretary, Vice President Sara Duterte Carpio. And what we have done is to emphasize, and precisely this soft opening is emblematic of education reforms being a continuing process. It is never done, but we can accelerate the results. And we hope that we have planted the seeds for the acceleration. One last note is that DepEd, and we are a family within DepEd, cannot do it alone. It has to be a collaborative partnership with various stakeholders, and NEAP also exemplifies that. We have with us our key partners that we have welcomed through our recognition process into providing professional development that are quality assured, going through the authorization and recognition process, and some of them are here, and some of them are exhibiting in the second level. Just to name a few, we have Simeo Inutec, UP NISMED, UP College of Education, Philippine Normal University, and the National Teachers College, Google, CIATI, and just to name a few. And we need to really work together, but with a common vision and common platform. We also thank our partnerships with our local governments, and both at the legislative representation as well as in the local chief executive, and in Congress also, the committees on basic education at the House, chaired by Representative Roman Romulo, and at the Senate, chaired by Senator Win Gatchalian. Just to note that Senator Pia Cayetano, as Committee on Finance Vice Chair for Education, has been very instrumental in making sure that funding, the conversion of MOE of Human Resource Development has been converted to capital outlay to finance this rehabilitation. And With respect to the office of Senator Gatchalian and Representative Roman Romulo, just to announce to you that the committee, the committees on basic education have been instrumental in the passage of a law that institutionalizes the reforms under NEAP. And in fact, it will have the privilege, USEC-AN, which is already something out of the ordinary for Philippine agencies, having a separate fund for NEAP that is distinct from the general fund of the government to ensure that the NEAP will have a consistent lifeblood. And why is this? It is because, as the theme says, we need to invest in teachers' growth for education quality. So, patapos na, I've found my new calling as I move on. And what is that? Kasama ko si RD Estela, pwede na kaming foreman ng construction kasi lagi kaming naririto to look into the development. So, we leave to Director John and all of the NEAP team to forge forward, and we live happily knowing that the Department of Education is as strong as ever, and it is always in good hands and has shown the resilience over long periods of time. But if, Director John, if you will need in Phase 3 a foreman to oversee the what do you call this, the completion, the final leg of the completion of the transformed NEAP, then you can call me on job order basis, even pro bono. So thank you very much. Maraming salamat to my colleagues in the Execom, USEC-AN, USEC-DADS, USEC-Willie, ASEC Alma, our regional directors that are always with us, our division superintendents, our central office directors that are with us. Maraming salamat. Let's see each other in the dinner that will be hosted by USEC-AN and RD Estela later in the evening. So we can have happy memories as we pass the baton to the next administration. Maraming salamat. Magandang hapon sa inyo.
Thank you so much, USEC Nepo, for your utmost support and for leading us to face and overcome challenges in bringing quality professional development. We appreciate your vision for the National Educators Academy of the Philippines. Mabuhay po kayo.
The meaningfully driving message of Undersecretary Nepomuceno A. Malaluan formally concludes this portion of the program. To our respected DepEd leaders, our partners, learning service providers, our distinguished guests, and Facebook Live viewers from across regions, again, our heartfelt thanks for celebrating with us this remarkable milestone. May we continue to walk our vision and fulfill our mission towards a transformative and progressive education. Basta, galing NEAP, galing NEAP. Thank you so much, and let's enjoy the rest of the afternoon.